What's up, guys? In this video, in this live stream, we're going to be doing the preparing for the AWS Certified Cloud Solutions Architect Associate exam. It's a very scenario-focused exam, so that's why we need as much practical experience as possible. So right here, I'm on my AWS console, as you guys can see. So we're going to start with the simple scenarios first, and we're going to move to the hardest scenario. So there's a beginner scenario right here. Create a user in a group with role and role with custom policies. So as you can see, we have these three right here. So we have policies right here as well. So we have you can add policies. You can create policies here. As you can see, these are different policies I've added so far. So you can click create policy, and you can specify the type of permissions that you want to add here. So you can give it in JSON format as well. But either way, right, you can import policies. You get the point. So what we're going to do is we're going to first off start simple. So we're going to create a test user. So just call it prep1 just to make things clear. Let's go next, add user to group. So we're going to create a group, okay, because we need to create a group. So we're going to call it test group or prep1 grp. Okay, that's prep1 group. And we're going to select certain add permissions we want to give to these users. So for example, you can see the different types of combinations we can give. For example, we have API gateway full access, so we can turn this on. We can give it to different types of users, so we can be like, so we can create the root user first. So let's do this. Administrator, that's fine. Full access, that's fine. Push to CloudWatch logs, so that's the monitoring. Flow full access, that's fine. Read only access, no, that's okay. That's okay because we're giving this to the root user. Business gateway execution, we don't need that. Full access, Alexa for business, we don't really need that right now. Assistant policy, no. Console operate access, that's fine. Last TP in stock. So overall, we'll give these, and then we'll click on create user group. So once we have this group, as you can see, we're going to add this user to that group. Let's select, as you can see, we have the settings properly. We're going to create this user. So now this user is in this group, prep1 group, which is created now, as you can see. So if I go in here, you can see the type of permissions that it's given as well. Those are the policies that we selected. So that's what we need to enter here, and a role with custom policies, right? So we can select policies. So roles, these are the roles, right, that we have so far. So we can select a role with custom policies. So we can create a custom role like this. So let me just delete this real quick. All right, so once that's done, we're going to create a new role. So let's call this AWS service or anything here. So we can select EC2. So a role that's used in EC2 pretty much, as you can see. So we can say, for example, systems manager. I guess we'll go with the usual defaults, and we have that created. Where is it? What did I call it? Oh yeah, permissions policies. Choose one or more policies to attach to your new role. So for example, we can turn this on. And this is fine. Let's go for, I'm gonna select this one as well. No, we don't need that. We don't need Alexa. We need API gateways and full access. Publish into CloudWatch logs, and let's click on create role without a permissions boundary, right? So, or let's say permissions boundary. So we'll go for administrator access. We go for oops, no, I don't need that. I guess we'll go for administrator access. So as you can see, we have this. So let's just call it role name, prep1 role 1. Call it that. We can give it anything. So we can give it preparation for role dummy role. All right. So once we do that, we have that trust policy. So we can edit this. Let's click on create role. And just like that, we have a role with custom policies. So we should have that right here. See? So as you can see, we can edit this, and yeah, so that's fine for now. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go to EC2. So let's search up EC2, and let's go on EC2. Launch on Amazon the next instance. So that's what we're going to do right now. So let's go and create a Linux instance. Let's click on, I already have a few instances made, so let me just do this from scratch. Dashboard, where is it? All right, let me go back. New dashboard. Let's go and create a instance. So for example, we're going to launch an instance. We'll call it prep instance and select the AMI so we can SSH into it. As you can see, what else do we have here? We have the instance type. We're going to go with the free one for now. We'll create a key value pair just to be safe. So we're going to create a new key value pair, which is RSA encrypted. So this depends on the scenario. So you can use it with OpenSSH. So you can shell into the server. So let's say, for example, admin, and let's say root, but these are bad credentials, which could be easily brute force, but this is just for explanation. So now we'll create that, we'll save that. As you can see, we have that, we have given it that. Now we can create a security group, or we can select an existing one. We don't need that. We'll create a security group and we'll allow only my IP. Okay. And actually, you know what? Because this is a test, let's go for any IP from anywhere you can access it. 8 gigs, that's fine. We'll give it CloudWatch monitoring. We'll turn it on. Instance bandwidth configuration, default. Okay. Capacity blocks, spot instances. Go for spot instances. And capacity reservation, we don't need capacity reservation yet. What else do we have? Yeah, we don't need the rest of it, so we'll go for instance auto recovery. Let's say default shutdown behavior, we'll say terminate. Stop hibernate behavior, enable. So let's go for this. I guess this is very scenario based. So user data, okay, we don't really need that right now. Love tags in metadata, we don't really need that. Let's select enable for now. For V2 request, you must install this session token in all instances metadata requests. Applications or agents that use V1, for instance, metadata access will break. Interesting. Okay, so we'll launch this instance and we'll install it. So SSH into it, so it means just shell into it. That's what they mean. What's this? What's the problem? Something seems to be wrong. It's fine, we'll go with the default for now. And I am instance profiles. Yeah, we'll select the instance that we created. Seems like there's a problem with launching it. Instance behavior, shutdown behavior stop is not supported when instance interruption is set to terminate. Right, okay, so it's not supported when... Right, okay, so we'll launch with this. Okay, there we go. So it's launched, as you can see. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a S3 bucket. So we delete everything that's on my S3 bucket right now, and we'll do it from scratch. So we'll delete everything that's on the S3 bucket right now. So we'll delete these S3 buckets right here. And now we can, yeah, we'll just say bucket is not empty, that's fine. Confirm deletion, enter the name of the, yeah, well, I can't do that. Empty the bucket. Let's say permanently delete. And then I can just delete this real quick. So now let's go back to tester bucket. Say permanently delete, and we'll empty this. Alright, well, it's done. So now let's go back. Let's create a new bucket, and we're gonna make this, create the bucket, so let's just call it rep1 1. Alright, we'll do access control list disabled for now. We could enable, right, we'll go with this for now. We'll disable it for now. Bucket versioning, we'll enable it, I guess. Right, okay. Alright, well, let's create the bucket. Alright, we have the pep1 bucket 1, which is the one that we created just now. So we have permissions and stuff. So what we're going to do at this point is we can give it cross-origin resource sharing. So we need to give it custom code for cores. So let's just be like, I'm gonna get the JSON for this. Give me the JSON to access, allow access from anywhere for now. So that's the cross-origin resource sharing policy that we need to put here. So for AWS policy, bucket policies, S3. Yeah, so we're gonna give it public access for now. Okay. And I'm gonna paste that here for now. Save the changes. It's invalid JSON, so I don't know what's up with it. Alright, well. This is required by the S3 API. Yep, okay. Oh wait, it's cause, oh right. It's cause I didn't rename this to the right. So let's say prep 1. I'll call it that. Still a problem? Interesting. So this way we'll give it cross-origin sharing access. And once that's done, we'll move on to the next steps. So that's creating a bucket, uploading files onto it. So once this issue is fixed, we'll do this. Enable static web hosting. So, okay, so we'll add this. Can I add that here? Alright, well, I mean, I should be able to just... Where? Really? That should be... There we go. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to add files on here. So let's select upload. And let's drag and drop a file from my computer. So for now, we're going to drag and drop future over here. Did it drag? No. I can't drag it for some reason. So let's select this file, for example. Okay. Oh wait, it did upload. Okay. Interesting. So in that case, we have the future image. That's what images4.jpg is. That's this one. So we have that file right here. So now I should be able to get owner for right. Okay. Right. So don't specify an encryption key. Specify an encryption key. No, we don't need one. All right. So we'll upload this file. So we can do files as well. But as you can see, we have the file. So now we can access it from anywhere because we have the S3 core cross-origin resource sharing properly configured. So we're going to click on object URL. Okay, it seems like we're deleting. Okay. We're getting access denied for now. So that's fine. Let's go to permissions. Right, everyone public. No, it's the users. So let's click on object URL. Yeah, but it gives me an access denied error. So yeah, that's fine. We'll try to fix that. Permissions. Why is it doing that? Okay, never mind. We got it. I guess we can go through this one. So we can go with this one. Okay, interesting. Can I S3 into it? So key ID. So for me, it's going to be admin root. And that's because I saved it in this file for the key. So now we can, okay, it says one bucket does not exist, which is an interesting term. What if we try something like this? We'll open a terminal. We'll be like SSH. Sorry. SSH, and we'll SSH into this file. Okay, well. SSH, and we'll drag and drop this file. No. I don't think I upload it here. Can I? Upload file. Okay, we'll upload this file. Can I do that? Or is that impossible? Um, well, guess not. That's annoying, but yeah, it's fine. So enable static web hosting. Interesting. So we'll upload an HTML file that we find. So let's go over here. We'll upload a file and we'll find an HTML file on my downloads folder. So let's just call it .html. I have this file, which is a HTML file. So let's select this one and we'll upload this. As you can see, upload. It should be done uploading in a few seconds. All right, well, we're done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the prep1 bucket 1. We find the file right here. So we're going to click on open. And just like that, we have everything except the CSS. So that's a little annoying. But yeah, so how am I going to enable hosting? Interesting. Let's try to do this. So general purpose buckets, we have this, right? This is the file that we have here. So how do I, okay, so let's get some GPT help here. See what it says. And this is the CLI, configure credentials, manages 3 buckets via terminal. Interesting. Yeah, well, we did this, we did that. Oh yeah, we need to upload the styles.css file as well. So if I just open this file right here, it looks like this, except we need the CSS file for it to look this way as well. So we need to upload both of those files in order for it to actually look the way it's supposed to look. So if I just open this, see there's no CSS, so it looks like this. So that's why. So that's fine. Upload properties tab, static the properties tab. Interesting. Right, properties. Switch to scroll to static web hosting. So let me just copy this, and I can't find it. Okay. Web hosting. Website. Hosting. Nope, not here. Interesting. Can't find web hosting here. Okay. Okay, we can make it expire in like 15 minutes as well. So that way. Cool. Okay, so they can only access it for 15 minutes for now, which is really good. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good system. What else do we have here? Okay, well. Okay, create a custom VPC with public and private subnets. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Public and private subnets. Interesting. So the internet gateway is for public subnets, and net gateway is for private. So private net and public internet gateway. Private net. So you create a VPC. Inside the VPC we have subnets, and inside the subnets you give a net to a private subnet, and internet gateway to a public subnet. Okay. So that's basically highlighting this part right here. So let's select, for example, let's select public subnets. Let's go with 2. Private subnets. Let's go with 2 as well. Net gateway. Select 1 in available zone. Per available zone actually. PC endpoints, S3 gateway. And yeah, we'll create a virtual private cloud. Okay, well, let me just delete this real quick. I think I got to delete this individually. Delete VPC. And let's select delete. Let's do the same for this one as well. And just delete this real quick. Okay, I think we deleted one, so it's enough. We'll go with the subnets as well. Actually, you know what? We'll add the subnets later, so it's a manual. Interesting. If I go for this and it should be fine. Let me start this. So now, now that we have this, we can go for the ALB once this is done. Oh wait, we need the VPC subnets. Once we have the subnets, we can go for the gateways. So we enable them depending on the type of subnet. So net private for net, and net for private, and internet gateway for public. ALB for listener rules, and target group for EC2. Application load balancers right here. And ASG for launch templates and enable auto scaling. RDS for relational database, obviously. Security groups, access control lists, inbound. So inbound is inbound traffic, outbound is going from the VPC, private subnet rules, and test traffic control, how the traffic goes back and forth, inbound and outbound. So there's a network-based access control list. So it's stateless, obviously. So it's like IPs and stuff that need to be verified before they enter a certain subnet. So that's basically what this is. What access network level access control list. Let's create an access control list. We'll call it prep 1. And we'll go for the one that we just created, which is this one, prep1 VPC. And let's say, for example, let's create this one. And it should be created right here, as you can see. So we need to associate this with a few subnets. So we have inbound and outbound rules, just like this. So we can associate this with a few subnets. So we have these subnets right here, which were from the previous one that we just created. So we can enable this with these filters, both the public and private subnets from the East Coast servers, as you can see. This is one public for East Coast, and one private for East Coast under 1A and 1B. So let's save these changes. And what else do we have here? Network access control list. So we have this one right here. So what we can do is we can set inbound and outbound rules. So we can set types of rules. So these are transmission control protocol. So TCP is like the usual. So UDP is like for live streaming. TCP is for normal traffic. And IPv4 is usual IP addresses. IPv6 is less commonly used. HTTPS, different types of protocols, as you can see. So server message broadcast is request response cycles, just like API gateways. HTTP, insecure HTTP, secure HTTP, normal DNS, telnet, shells, secure shell, stuff like that right here. So I need to look into this a little bit. So we'll get a screenshot of this. Set in the inbound and outbound rules. So let's say inbound rules and cloud bound rules. Alright, so let's go back to where it says outbound rules. Now we'll click on outbound rules. We can add the new rule. As you can see, same process except for outbound traffic. So traffic that's going from the cloud to the outside. So in this case, it could be from these subnets because we're dealing with that here. So subnet association, as you can see, we have connected it with the subnets. So now we have associated with the private and public subnets from there. So yeah, we have it just like this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to security groups. So let's say, for example, security groups. And we have the VPC, which is virtual private cloud, easy to feature. So let's start with VPC because that's what we're dealing with here. Security groups. So let's create a security group. And we'll call it prep. All right. We can select this one, which is the one that we just created. Outbound rules, once again, usual outbound rules. You can set the rules right here, right? So once we create the inbound rules and the outbound rules for the security groups as well, we can create a security group. So in this case, it's asking me for this. So I'm just going to create it for now. And we should have it just like that. We should have this. So we don't need this right now. So I'm going to delete. We can just delete this for now. Well, should be done. All right. So we have RDS, which is for relational databases. For complex data, it's slower than DynamoDB, which is for non-relational data. So it's easier to store and it's faster. ASG, once again, auto-scaling groups, right? So ASG, let's look at that. Auto-scaling groups right here. So right here, we can create an auto-scaling group. Create launch template and enable auto-scaling. So launch template is yep, there we go. So we can just call it prep1 group1. Let's just select a launch template. I don't really have one, so we'll create a launch template. That's infrastructure as code, so we can create prep1 launch one. We can launch template for first prep. Let's say, for example, okay, so currently news, recently launched. Interesting. Well, AMIs. Alright, key pair login. We're gonna go for admin and root. Network level. So let's say, for example, I'm gonna select pip1 subnet, this one, which is these are the subnets that we just created, I believe, as you can see. So we're gonna go for this one. This is a private one. I'm gonna go for this one, and let me select this one. And interesting. Okay, so we have security groups. We can select this one. All right. All right, let's launch the template. All right, let's select, for example, EC2 subnets. So, okay. All right, well, we just created that. So we have this right here. All right, so let's say, for example, so those are the launch templates. So this is I didn't really specify. I don't really specify anything really. Okay, well, let's go back to launch templates. All right, we need to terminal into this, so I don't think we can SSH into it, but um, ALB API gateways. So for example, let's go for API gateway. Create a REST API with gate post methods. This is event driven, of course. This one. Execute everything in a workflow based event. Workflow in events. DynamoDB for NoSQL. It's event driven. So content delivery right here. So you can content deliver from S3 using CloudFront. DNS right here. Code pipeline CI/CD and to log. Cool. Create an API. So let's create a REST API because that's what we're told to do here. Okay, so now we have say /admin. Let's call it admin. So now we have /admin. So in this, we can select the options. So meta request. Interesting. So we have, let's say, for example, so request body, how the API request should come in, what the headers, queries, if needed for post requests and stuff, or get requests even. If it's querying a database, what the logic is here, request paths, right? So API keys are no. Authorization, okay. Application JSON, yep. Integration response, so when the request packet is sent, how the response should be sent back. I mean, that's usual APIs, but this is like on a different level. So, okay, mock integration, interesting. Okay, well, I need to send a get request. Let's try with a post request. Okay, so let me just close these for now. How do I add a post request here? Okay, well, let me try adding. All right, well, how do I add a post request to path? Either through console or infrastructure as code. So we're gonna do create resource from here. Actions, create method, select post. So let's click on actions. Where is it? Where's actions? All right. Oh. No, not this actions. Okay, so actions, create resource, create method. So it's a create method. Let's create an HTTP method for now. We'll make it a post request. I selected post here, but oh wait, okay, HTTP method. Endpoint URL. So com/. Okay, so this is in terms of microservices, I believe. Method. Yeah. Validate. Right. Let's Collect create bot. Request body. Okay, so that's like the body of data that's gonna be sent back. So we'll send JSON back, I guess. So we'll call it JSON is what we're sending back. All right, let's create a method. Yeah, I mean, let's say. Does that work? I don't think so. Right, so validator must be unique. So it needs like a base as well. So let's say Google / that's not gonna work. Yeah, so it's not gonna work with this, obviously. This will not work. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll try this again, but lambda. Right, and deploy Node.js or Python functions. So DynamoDB. So this is a tester function. It's event driven, obviously. Write and deploy. So this is an example event. Okay. Load balancer. Interesting. Oh. Okay. Well, let's see how the logs get logged. Bro, what? Okay. Okay, so we need to send some events in order to log. Interesting. So you need create events as well? Okay, so we can create this one. Right. So let's select save. Alright, okay, well, updated the function tester. So that's this one. So this is the code that's running behind it. So these are all events, separate functions as events. I mean, separate events is in a group of functions, or separate executions as functions called events. So the events, we have DynamoDB. Let me look into DynamoDB a little. So that's NoSQL, of course. Integrated with Lambda. How many tables have I made? Okay, so it's called yep, one. Okay, well, test. Create a table. Alright, well, we have, we don't need that. So it's creating this one. So let's wait for this to be done. CloudFront, let's go back to CloudFront. Okay, so this is active now, as you can see. Encryption now. CloudFront, let's go back to CloudFront. Upload assets to S3, serve globally. Yep. Content delivery, so we can be like Yeah, so we can select this one. Secure sockets layer certificate, interesting. Let's create a distribution. Alright, we have a CDN now at this point. We're done with this, so let's create a DNS. We have this. Let's give it. Let's create a DNS. Register domain, set DNS to CloudFront. So you need a DNS, and then you need to connect it onto the registry domain. Right. So here we select DNS first. So we'll select this one. So once you select this, you need to assign it to the CloudFront content delivery network and code pipeline. Let's see how this works. It's a CI/CD pipeline. GitHub to Lambda S3, so GitHub Actions. GitHub Actions to Lambda S3. So create a pipeline. So where is it? GitHub Actions to Lambda S3. So we'll custom pipeline, so we can create this. So we can select these as well. ECR, elastic container registry. So this is for Fargate applications. So containerized applications. This is for Fargate. It's containerized steps as well, but this is for containers. Terraform deploy infrastructure as code. Deploy to CloudFormation. Interesting. So this is also infrastructure as code, except this is its own scripting language. This is Amazon based. So we'll create our own thing. So let's say prep one, pipe one. Let's click on, we don't need this for now. We can ECR, I think that should do the job. So you give it build commands. Say test provider, Jenkins. I haven't used Jenkins before, so let's go for code and build. Right, so you need to create a code build project. You have to select this one. Load code deploy. Application name, let's call it. We already have the application on the code deploy console. So deployment group, that's under. Right, so let's skip this for now. Let's just create a pipeline. I think it's gonna fail because it's missing key factors here. But once we create the code pipeline, we're gonna have to go for CloudWatch. So we can go here. As you can see, this is the code pipeline. So it didn't run, of course, because it's missing. Let's go on CloudWatch. as you can see. Let's go on CloudWatch. Monitor logs, create alerts and dashboards. CloudWatch, say for example. Monitor logs, create alerts and dashboards. So monitor logs, where is it? So log group. Live trail, let's see. It's gonna log all the events, I believe. Then we can filter and push these logs onto. So right now it's checking for these. We can enable this as well. But we can push these to SNS and SQS queues from there. Containerize, so it's SNS. Build Docker image for app. But ECS container service, Elastic Container Service to ACR, to Kubernetes. And you can use Jenkins for the CI/CD automation, ALB for load balancing, and auto-scaling groups. Those scaling groups, scalar services automatically. CloudWatch to monitor the containers, custom metrics and alerts. Cool. Next step. First in, first out. It's optional. Let's create this topic. Cool. Fuck this. Let's go back. Alright, well. CloudWatch logs. So you're gonna set the custom metrics and alerts through the CloudWatch. Watcher, ECS and EKS. Yep. It's this part right here. ALB. Yep. So I'm gonna take a break for now once it hits the 1 hour mark. And I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this too. This one is also fine up to this point. This is also okay. It's not bad. Install CLI. Install. Oop. Yeah, it's still installing in the background. That's fine. So once that's done, we should be able to CLI into it. Configure just like this. Secret key ID, so you can SSH into it using these credentials. Let me show you guys. The admin root perm. So essentially using this file right here. So we can do admin here. Admin key is root $T. Default region. Put format, you can use JSON for that. So you can use the configure command once it's installed. So it's a version. It's still not installed, so let's try reinstalling this. AWS CLI. No, we don't need a VPN client. We just need to do AWS version. That's gonna, there we go. Let's do AWS configure. And let's do, once again, min root. It's fine. Yes. Configure, yep, that's this part. I'm okay up to this point. This point I'm not really good, but I'm okay up to this point. ALB, yeah, so this part I need to do this. RDS is fine, security groups is also fine. And SEL, once again, I need to look in this. Let's see. Once you have this right, you can test the traffic control. Request response cycles. Event driven. NoSQL. Security with Lambda. Right, CloudFront. DNS to CloudFront. Yes, right, so I understand this on a higher level, but just like when it comes to implementing, it's way more complicated than that, so overall, pretty good. So yeah, let's go one by one. Let's do some scenarios and we'll get the hang of it. So for today, I think that's enough for now. I'll see you guys in some time, but I do know how to SSH, so that's pretty good. Like for example, let's say, or any other domain, but yeah, this is not active right now, so because of that, it's impossible to brute force like that. But yeah, I do know how to SSH if there's an open port for 22. So all right, so that's it. Then you know, that's it for now.